coming out. The thing with coming out is it shouldn't be a problem, it shouldn't be an issue. Coming out as non-heterosexual, non-binary, non-normative in any way should not be a huge deal. Unfortunately, it is. We should just be able to say, well, I'm this and that, I'm ace, I'm trans, I'm bisexual, whatever. And it shouldn't, as I say, be an issue, but unfortunately we live in a society that is highly heteronormative and often highly heterosexist, and everything that is non-normative is considered at best weird, at worst wrong, and supposed to be destroyed and purged. So coming out is a huge deal because we have to wonder, will the people we are coming out to be aggressive about it? Will they accept us? Well, how will they react? We don't know that. We can only guess. Even people who should accept us no matter what, like our parents, if you come out to them, it may very well turn out very badly. So here's the story of how I came out. I actually planned to tell my parents that I was gay that day. I wasn't going to come out as ace just yet. But yeah, I was coming out as gay that day, or at least wanted to, but before I had a chance to tell them myself to bring the conversation to that topic, they asked about a friend I had visited a couple of months before, and he's gay, so they wanted to ask. I don't know why they wanted to ask, probably because he lives in Amsterdam, and we all know that Amsterdam is a city for weed and gays, and there is nothing more, just gays smoking weed. So they asked whether he was gay, so I said, yeah, he is. And then they asked, what are you? Well, I'm gay. And my mom had sort of suspected it before, but still it was quite a shock for her. And my dad was caught completely by surprise by it. But they did not disown me or anything. They just were weirded out by it, didn't know how to react, and for the longest time they avoided the topic. Right now they're slowly learning that it's not a taboo topic. That yes, you can talk to me about my not being straight. Still, I understand why it was weird for them to accept it. Unfortunately, we live in times where it's understandable for people to be shocked that someone is gay. I came out as ace to my dad a couple of weeks or months later, I don't really remember, and it was a huge relief for him because for some reason he decided it meant that maybe I would find a girlfriend one day. Well, not very likely seeing as I'm homo-romantic, but to be honest, I did not want to tell him that it was not the case because, well, he seemed really happy about it. I feel bad because I'm sort of cheating him and not staying true to myself by not telling him exactly, no dad, I'm homo-romantic, I am still gay, just different from most gay people by being ace as well. But I don't know, I sort of came out to more of my family as ace the last time I was home, which was I think 2 weeks ago, and they saw my black ring and they asked about it, and so I said, well, it symbolizes asexuality. And what is bad about it, I didn't really have a chance to tell them what asexuality is. They now have some assumptions about me that might be wrong. I'm not really sure because I'm not really certain what they think, but I think that they think this may be some sort of celibacy ring, which it is not. of course. But, well, hopefully the next time I'm home I'm going to have more of a chance to tell them exactly what asexuality is, how it works, what it means for me, what it means for them, and just educate them because I do it here, so why can't I do it at home? Well, I didn't do much educating here, but still, I had a lecture on asexuality once. It was not the best thing in the world, but at least I know more or less what to say. So hopefully it will be good. I can't stress enough how important a part of any movement like this coming out is. Because if people don't come out as not straight, as not binary, as not cisgender, then they can't expect others who are straight, who are cisgender, to understand what it is, what it means to be outside of the whole norm of the heteronormative model. And you can't expect people to treat you like a normal person and not an oddity if you don't help pave the way to that. Of course, if you come out, you are risking being treated like a weirdo, like a faker. I've heard opinions that asexuals are not really asexual because you can't be that. Yeah, I'd rather not talk about it right now because I'm gonna have to erupt in a rant. Yes, you are risking that, but at the same time you are paving the way for other people who may want to come out as ace. If you raise awareness of it, it's going to be easier for everyone. And that is a good thing. So, that's it from me for today, and I'll see you next Wednesday. And I'm going to try to make a better video because I'm going to be done with my exams on Friday. And then I have to hand in one project, but never mind that. Oh, and by the way, do you know what the best reaction was that I got to my coming out? It was from my dear friend Bogdan, who pretty much said something along the lines of, I'm glad that you found something you can identify as, and I actually have a friend who also identifies as asexual. And that was pretty much it. He just treated it as completely normal, as something completely everyday and not a huge deal, and that was something I really needed at that time. A kind of confirmation that yes, it is perfectly normal, it is not a huge deal, and just that. And this is what I strive for as an activist and as a volunteer at an LGBTQ organization. This sort of incredible, perfect acceptance, not just, wow, you're weird, I'm gonna tolerate you, but you're weird. No, just sort of treating this weirdness as perfectly everyday, perfectly normal, because everyone is weird after all.